Hey everyone, hi and welcome to The Real, where things get real and we talk about, well, whatever we feel. This is your girl Shy here on today. Alright, so let's get straight into today's episode. I have the wrong upline. Yay! Today we are going to talk about uplines. More so, people who think or feel that they have the wrong upline. Now, this is an interestingly sensitive issue, but I'm going to be real and I'm going to be straightforward about uplines. What do I think about uplines? I think that there are good uplines and there are bad uplines. And like with any other company, you have good managers and bad managers. And I think there's some kind of myth that I need to demystify. Is that a, yeah, demystify? Or I need to clarify. Let's use that one. It's safer. But I need to get rid of this myth that an upline is some kind of magician that's able to solve all of your problems. All right, so let's look at some pros and cons. Let's talk about some things. Really get into this upline thing. Okay, first off, kudos to those people that are uplines because it's a tough job being a leader. Being an upline takes a lot of time out of yourself. Well, some uplines, so let's just say that some uplines, but the good uplines, and I have been blessed to have a few of these. I really am tempted to call their names out, but then you kind of know what my MLM is. And this is not why I'm here. I'm not here to promote my MLM. I'm just here to help fellow network marketers figure out some issues. So I've been blessed to have some good uplines and they really believe in servanthood. You can call them, text them. I mean, they work some crazy hours and it's really amazing, the support. And then there are some uplines that are not as helpful as others in a lot of different companies. All right. So first of all, who or what is an upline? An upline, let's put it into the corporate world. It's like your managers, different levels of managers. I would liken your direct upline to your team lead, their upline to a supervisor. The next upline would be maybe an executive sales director or something like that. And maybe the next would be the regional director that you have in most companies over the entire region, the branches in the region, right? Then I would say the VPs would be equivalent to the next level of managers, maybe CEOs, CFOs, and then, well, more CFOs and COOs, chief operation officers, financial officers. I'm just likening ranks here. And then you would have the CEO who would be the higher level, ranks in your MLM. I'm not sure what terms they give them because they vary from MLM to MLM. But I want to bring it down a little lower to almost direct upline. Let's say 3 people ahead of you. Here's the first fact that I want you to get through your head. Most of your uplines, especially if they're a rank or 2 ahead of you, 9 out of 10, they just started in the industry themselves and they really don't know that much more than you. And I think there's an immense amount of pressure on them to perform at a certain level that they are not at themselves. They're still figuring out this network marketing thing. They're still trying to build the team. They're still trying to, figure out engagement and so many different things. And network marketing is something that is ongoing, irregardless. As far as I'm concerned, it's something where you're always learning. The company is always coming out with new things to make the service better or make the customer experience better, agent incentives. So they have to stay abreast with a lot of things. So that's the first reality. 9 out of 10, your upline might be a month or 2 ahead of you. So to expect them to perform at the level of maybe a VP is crazy. All right. Another thing that I want to look at is the thought of depending on an upline. Now, I believe in three-way calls 110%, especially if you're new, because closing can be really, really hard if you don't know what you're doing, and you can lose an entire sale trying to close. If you think you can do it, kudos to you. Go ahead. I mean, it's what it's about. Learning and getting there as fast as you can to do it on your own. And the reason I say that, because 9 out of 10, you're going to have to close someone or get as close to it as possible physically. You know, sometimes you don't always have that window where you can lead them to a second exposure without actually trying to close them on the spot. And sometimes you know that momentum is there, so you kind of like to need to know what to say. But uplines are important for closing, for three-way calls, and I think most MLMs, the uplines are available if that system is in place. And then you also have to consider time zones. I know that's one of the things that I had to deal with, and actually I kind of lost a few people because of that, the time zone difference between my uplines and myself. So when I call, I kind of had to remember what time zone they were in, and sometimes I guess they would forget, or the time, and I kind of missed on some key opportunities because when I pushed to that three-way, the upline wasn't able to answer, and it looks really unprofessional on your part, on my part, but stuff happens, come on, and that's part of life. Now, I also have a cousin who has been involved in several MLMs in the past, and she's like, well, you know, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it works because uplines are selfish and they don't help you and they don't do this and they don't do that. Okay, so let's just be real. Your upline owes you nothing. Nothing. Let's just get that straight. I'm gonna say it again. Your upline owes you nothing. Nothing is owed to you. A good upline wants to build their team through duplication to give themselves, keyword, themselves, the financial freedom that they desire, meaning that their business and the agents below them work for themselves. Your upline is A, not your friend, B, they are not obliged to do anything for you. At the end of the day, you're business associates, business partners, because that's what they will call you. I don't care how friendly they are. They're not your friend. They're really not. And the organization might be like a family, but they're not your family. That's just being real. So at the end of the day, again, and I'll really say this way, nothing is owed to you. And to kind of stress on that point, I think one of the problems that we have with network marketing, period, is that people come into the network marketing game assuming that the upline is going to do 100% everything. And I'm going to be real. Most of the MLMs that I have seen right now, the people who I know that are involved in network marketing, I don't care if it's sales, if they're selling products or services. I think the companies are making it pretty easy for you to follow the method. I'm not saying it's easy for you to get sales or to close customers, because this is a whole different thing. But I am saying the process is actually pretty easy right now in terms of duplication, teaching your downline what to do, or you learning what the company, you know, has been doing for a certain amount of years. And I said it last episode, and I said again, you've got to find yourself and tweak it and see what works for you. But guess what? At the end of the day, if you're going to depend on your upline 100% to drive leads or sales, or to give you a strategy, A, they're not going to do it because they're running their own business themselves. Ding dong, I'm going to just be real. They're going to help you get to where you need to be because they want to grow their downline to where they don't have to micromanage the organization 120% of the time. But at the end of the day, they're also running their business and trying to meet their quota to get to the rank that they want to be. That's the first reality. I'm sorry, I'm going to just say it though. Because that's kind of how it is. They'll help you, they'll mentor you, but at the end of the day, they're your business partner. It's I mean, just think about it for a minute, and that's a fact of life. And with that said, I think people expect something that is just not fair from uplines. I mean, let's put it this way. We call it a work from home opportunity for a reason, because it's not a job. You're starting a business, which means marketing and learning and leads. That's on you, because you started a business. You became a business partner with this company. I don't care if you use the term agent. And I think on the last episode I explained why people stress on whether it's a beauty product agent or a financial services agent or I don't know, some kind of agent. Yes, it's based on the fact that you do represent that company and that company alone. So then the title agent is given to you. But the reality is, when you become a network marketer, you assume the responsibility of starting a business. And that's what makes you an entrepreneur. Just to be real, assuming the risk, trying to figure out your pace, where you're stronger. Are you stronger at internet marketing, relationship marketing? What are your weaknesses? What do you need to work on? And I find myself having to do that a lot in the past few weeks. A lot of learning, a lot of strategizing, a lot of figuring out. And the reality is, every single person that I have listened to their story who's successful in network marketing right now will tell you the same thing that I am about to say to you now. It takes time. We all want to get there. We all want to be VPs. We all want the benefits. We all want the ranks. But at the end of the day, it takes time. People need to know who you are. And I know you've heard this 1,000 times. If you are in network marketing, sometimes I just like, here we go again. People do business with who they know, like, and trust. Okay, let's say it again. Say it with me. People do business with who they know, like, and trust. There you go. And if you keep that in your mind, then you kind of figure out, okay, there's some things that I'm going to have to do to put myself out there so people know. I don't care if it's in your neighborhood. I don't care if it's going to events, joining a church if you're not going to church, for all I care. But you need to become someone that people know and that they trust. And then they really figure out, okay, why do I want to buy from you? So the whole thing of the wrong upline is a myth, because low-key, you do not need your upline. Oh, did I just say that? I'm so serious. Having a supportive upline is definitely a plus. And like I said, I know for a fact it's a blessing. And it can also be very disappointing, and it can be discouraging. But you don't need an upline, because if you learn, well then, nah, I still stick to my point, because I was about to say some companies don't have that key strategy, but it's up to you. How bad do you want this? How bad do you want to succeed? And for me, as a life coach, I think this is one of the main things that I'm going to drive today. How bad do you want it? There is no such thing as the wrong upline. Because if you want to learn how to close, the internet has millions of books on how to close. I mean, one of the books that I love is To Sell is Human. And I'm going to just put it out there. No, I'm not an affiliate. Not getting any commissions. But I'm telling you,